Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Razaaziz, and we're coming to you live from multiple different countries and cities. We're just getting started. Our apologies on the technical difficulties that we're experiencing. You know, when entrepreneurs are up to big games, yes, one person definitely shows up, and his name is Murphy. So we had to deal with Murphy right off the bat. But nevertheless, we are here and we're ready to get started. So welcome to this special presentation on three fatal mistakes rookie entrepreneurs make and how to avoid them. As I mentioned, I'm Raza Aziz. I'm an author of my upcoming book titled The Performance Zone, helping leaders be more productive, work with intention, and create expanded results. And we have some amazing entrepreneurs here on the line. And as I look up at my screen, uh, we have Jan, first of all, coming to us from New Jersey. As I'm opening up all these different screens over here, give me just a few seconds, and we'll get this rocking. So who do we have here? We have Jan Miller from New Jersey. She is a true advocate for women's empowerment. She brings her passion and zest for life to the newbie system. Jan's a coach, a mentor to many new entrepreneurs, and is helping them define and plan their vision of success. Jen is a well-traveled business person and is a guru at bringing people together from around the world. Jen, welcome to the call.
Thank you very much, Raza.
Very good. Let me introduce our other guest. Introducing Bob McLean from Toronto, Canada. Bob McLean is passionate advocate for financial freedom as a visionary and co-founder of the Newbie System, the organization he's heading. He is a guru to those new to the entrepreneurship, seeking 6 or 7-figure success. Many have leveraged Bob's decades of experience and innovation for both individuals and companies, along with his international experience to define their business and lifestyle on their own terms and have fun while doing it. Bob, welcome to the call, my friend. I think, Bob, you're muted.
Well, this is one way for me to get a word in edgewise.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. Bob, whatever you said, we did not hear because you were muted. Oh, there you go. Let's see. There, he's back.
There we go. Holy cow. This is really, this has been quite an evening so far, and we're just getting started. I was just saying, not only did our internet crash, my phone just crashed, but I'm back again.
And that's the beauty of entrepreneurs, right? You got to make things happen. You know, one of our great mentors, and I know all of three of us have had the opportunity to learn from him. James McNeil, he always says that, you know what, people who are up to great things, the gurus, they just got to show up and get things done, right? And here we are. Very good. Well, let's take this show right into the topic of the day. I know many of you are tuning in from across many different countries, many different nations. So let's talk about the 3 fatal mistakes rookie entrepreneurs make. And mistake number 1 that we've identified is inaction, or the biggest nation that we know of, procrastination. How many of you are really familiar with that? You know, as an entrepreneur, I remember when I first transitioned into being an entrepreneur, I continuously kept becoming victim of this particular mistake, and that is inaction. So let me ask Jan this first. Jan, why don't you share with us, you know, how do you know, or how does one know that he or she is in action, or he or she is procrastinating? How do you identify that?
For me, it's very personal. It's very physical. When I'm procrastinating, I have that grinding knot in the bottom of my stomach that tells me that I'm not doing what I said I would do. Um, and that's how I know, because I physically feel I'm letting myself down.
Yeah, I get that. And you know what? It's amazing. We know exactly when we're procrastinating, don't we?
Absolutely.
Right? It's
Absolutely.
it's it's that inner feeling, and it's such a powerful feeling that it sometimes really puts us in one of those modes. Is like, oh my God, I don't even know when sometimes we're procrastinating, we're not even moving, we're not going anywhere, and we're worried about our business without taking action. Bob, let me ask you this. Why do people procrastinate? Why do we get into the mode? Why, especially new entrepreneurs, why do we get into a mode of inaction?
Oh boy, good question, Raza. And there's some big answers here, but the biggest one by far is fear. And I think it's fear of failure is probably the number one thing that stops people. But I know Jan and I were talking about this not too long ago, and I think we also found that going the other way is also a major fear. Isn't that right, Jan?
Absolutely, Bob. And fear of success. That we have all this programming that we have from our childhood and from our teachers and models. You know, yes, we fear failure, but we also can fear success because we're not staying in the comfort zone that our friends, family, the people around us are used to. And they're well-meaning. They want us to be comfortable and safe. It's really a matter of safety.
Yeah, absolutely. That comfort zone thing is really, really important, and our whole society is built around staying comfortable. You know, and you stay home and you're working on something, and your friends are asking you to go out and go do this and go do that, and you're missing the latest TV show. It's always something that's trying to pull you away from what you should be doing.
Hmm. And Bob, just to kind of piggyback on that point, I mean, it seems like there's a big one of the things to tackle procrastination, and we're going to get into that, is really a discipline. Is to clearly have your priorities and be disciplined in following it. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Reza. Yeah, okay, Jan was talking about that feeling in the pit of her stomach when things aren't happening. And I don't get that particular feeling when I'm not doing things, but for me, the clue is nothing's happening. What I need to do, and this is, I think I'm probably going a little bit forward here, but for me, I have to have a to-do list. And I'll make it up the night before. These are the things that I have to get done the next day. And I know that I'm making progress because my to-do list becomes a to-done list. And if that's not happening, I'm not moving forward.
I totally hear you. I totally hear you. And that's one of my points. One of my areas of weaknesses is organization. And planning.
I've got a problem.
Sorry, Jan?
Go for it, Raz.
All right. So before we get into the solutions, what is the cost of procrastination? Bob, maybe you want to take what's your take on it? What is it costing the new entrepreneurs to being
okay?
Bob,
my answer to this one, and I'm going to see if I can do this on my phone. I don't know if it'll work, but the cost of inaction is their very soul. Okay, sounds very grand, but it's true. I mean, this is when you're out there as an entrepreneur and you're not doing anything. The money's not coming. The lifestyle isn't there. You're not getting a sense of accomplishment. Nothing is happening. Your goals and dreams and aspirations aren't being met. Really is your soul at risk here.
I got it. Very good. Very good.
Hey, I like to have fun while I'm doing these things.
No kidding, Bob. I love this. That's one of the advantages of being entrepreneurs and working from home, right? You have the flexibility of everything. But let me, as we bring this particular topic of inaction and procrastination to close, what can we do? And Jan, maybe we'll take your take on this. What can we do? What can new entrepreneurs do to empower more action into our businesses? Bob, if you could mute your line, please.
Okay, sorry. What's that, Raza?
Oh, no, Jen, I asked the question to Jen. What can we do to empower more action?
Well, you know, Raza, it's actually you that gave me the quote that makes me think of this. We were talking the other day about Martin Luther King, and faith is that first step, taking that first step even when you can't see the whole staircase, right? Mm-hmm. It's the one step. Do one thing. Do one little thing, and then do the next little thing, and the next little thing after that. And pretty soon you gain that momentum, and you're chugging along, and it's all good.
Very good. So one of the first steps you're saying is faith, and it's so amazing that you mentioned faith in this, and faith. Can you elaborate on that piece? Because I've had so many conversations with new entrepreneurs, and you know, the belief, the faith part is so strong, and sometimes we don't put that as part of our business plan, you know. And so how do you define it? How do you get into that? What is faith? What is faith for a new entrepreneur?
It really is believing in your why, in your what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's understanding just the purpose of the business, the purpose of who you are, and why you're serving other people.
Yeah, it's really great you mentioned that, Jen. That is so profound. And folks who are out there listening to this, although we sometimes do not include this, but your business vision incorporates the why, the reason of you promoting your products, your services, your existence in the entrepreneurial. What kind of difference are you out there to make is really important, because and one of the things you know, Steve Jobs, I was listening to one of his interviews, he says that you know, most of your life is going to be spent working. Most of your life is going to be spent working. You know, whether you're working for an organization or working in your own business, you might as well do something that you love to do. Because here's the reason why you want to do that. Because it is tough. There's going to be constant worrying. There's going to be things that you have to be worried about. The things that you have to put. It becomes hard, and unless you're absolutely passionate about what you're doing, you are going to give up. And I think, Jen, with the answer that you just gave, you know, the element of faith and the why attached to it is just so profound in helping us overcome the number one threat to our businesses, which is inaction and procrastination. So let me jump on to our second threat, second fatal mistake that rookie entrepreneurs make, and we identify that as doing it yourself. Right, going alone, right, into the venture. And many of us, I am guilty of this so many times, that try to do things by myself and just falling flat on my face. So let me see if I can bring up Bob again. Bob, I see your line is unmuted. Thank you for being back here. Why don't you share with us maybe two pros and two cons of working alone, going alone on the venture we call entrepreneurism?
Okay, well, first off, hello. I'm actually back on the internet again. So, you know, as they say, back in the saddle again. So, anyway, Jan would like that. She's a country and western person. But one of the things that's really interesting about going alone is it looks like a massive benefit, and it's being able to do everything exactly like you want to do it. So you don't have to cut corners. You can do it exactly like you want to see it done. But there's actually a gotcha to that as well, is that you then become the stumbling block that keeps you from getting to your success.
Totally
And,
agree. Totally agree with
and
that. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
sorry, just to jump in there, I actually read a study recently that shows that entrepreneurs are the stumbling block. They are the bottleneck that stymies the growth of their business.
Wow. That's a gay, and it tells me one of my earlier mentors, yeah, still my mentor as well. He ingrained a principle inside of me, and that was learn to get yourself out of your own way. And there's so many times we are our own obstacle because guess what? We're a one-man show, and we haven't put structures, accountabilities, and people in place in order for our business to thrive. And we sometimes create the vision as entrepreneurs and then try to be all the leader, the manager inside of it, the implementer, and all of the different pieces ourselves. And we take our business from its rise to our fall. If it rises, we take it to its fall. But let me, Jen, why don't you share your perspective on how does an entrepreneur go about enlisting the aid of others and creating partnerships, because many of us don't know how to do that. Many of us don't know how to have those conversations. We always think about, why would somebody want to help us? It's my business. I need to get it done. So how do people go about doing that?
So, from my perspective, it's a matter of coming from a position of service, that you give to others, that you help others. And the law of reciprocity comes into play at that point in time. When you give, others just naturally feel that they need to give back that value or even higher value. So the more you give, the more you get back. That builds those relationships, that builds that what you need for your business and what others need for the business. It's a fair exchange.
Oh, excellent. And one of the Jen, you've said it very well. One of the thing, one of the people that I know who does this with mastery is Bob himself. Bob, share with us an example where you've been able to create, enlist the help of others in a way that was a service to them and it helped your business as well. Can you share with us some example?
Okay, yeah. I call that, just by the way, we are all geniuses, and this is a really big thing for people to understand. There is something that each one of us does that is head and shoulders above what everybody else can do. Now, a lot of us know what that thing is that we're a genius in, but some of us don't. And if you don't know, I highly, highly recommend you go find it out. And it may be as simple as asking somebody. And the point is that we're a genius in something, but we're not a genius in everything. So what we want to do is find other people who are geniuses, and we can work with them. We assemble what I call a power team. And now, one of my very, very best examples of somebody in the power team is you, Raza, is that you are a fantastic guy. You're doing a great job here tonight, by the way. Isn't he, everybody? Isn't he doing a great job?
Thank you, Bob.
And it's great working with you, and you are very, very strong on these kinds of things, and so you're really, really helping me get my message out. I'm really hoping that this is working for you as well, because you are a great example of my power team in action.
Very good. Well said, Bob, and thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Bob, your and my story is just like that. How we went from a third-party introduction to meeting at the first event that you did for your organization, and built a relationship, and then I liked what you were up to, and you liked what I was up to, and slowly we grew that partnership, and to the point. I mean, you've asked me for help, and every time you ask for help, I feel like there's so much value coming from you and your organization that I want to give back. I want to, and it's one of those, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching, this is one of those examples of win-win situations that are created, and Bob McLean is one of the masters at it. And so many things you've done over the past 3-4 months that you've created, and sometimes, and I'm very guilty of this as well. is that sometimes as new entrepreneurs, we feel like the exchange of money is the only way we can get the help of others. Isn't that correct, Bob?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Raza, it is. It's you know, you were talking earlier, and I didn't get a chance to make a mention of it. You were talking about faith and belief, and it all stems about the passion that you bring to the whole thing. So that when you're doing something that you fully believe in, there's just nothing that can stop you. And that really works with the power team as well, that when you are doing what you need to do, it attracts powerful people to you. And it just, well, it gets better and better. That's the fantastic news of it all.
It does. It does. Well, as we wrap up this particular fatal mistake, going alone, let's talk about some of the key ingredients necessary in building a power team. And Bob, why don't you start us off, and maybe we'll go to Jen after that.
Okay, well, I kind of let the cat out of the bag on that one by already talking about people all being a genius in something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't stress it enough. It is so important for people to understand that they do something phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And it's so important for them, for their success and for their passions to come to the surface, for them to feel like they're making a difference, to be working in their area of genius. So what we need to do is find others that are genius in other areas and work with them. You can find them through networking, through courses. You can find them all sorts of places. Sometimes other people can help bring you together as well. But that's really it. It's a personal thing, and it's finding people. Not only are they expert in areas that you're not, but you really connect with them. Those are the people that you're looking for.
Excellent, excellent. That's gold, ladies and gentlemen. Jen, let's have your take on it. What are in your opinion, what are some of the key ingredients necessary in building a power team?
So one of the things I've found is some of the wealthiest people I know, and I'm not talking necessarily monetarily wealthy, some of the wealthiest people I know are the people that give. And they give to other, they come from that, again, that service, right? Mm-hmm. I find that when I give, I get such a good feeling. And, you know that feeling, Raza, right? It's just,
yes.
It just makes you warm all over. So giving other people the opportunity to give as well, and being generous with that feeling, that raises them up. So building a power team and working with other people, it's a way of building that other person up as much as it is getting the value and building my business and building my wealth, as we call it.
Powerful, powerful point there, Jen. And just to and it's so hard to explain that feeling, right? So hard to put it into words, what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, that feeling is fulfillment. Why people today are not fulfilled at their jobs is because we're stuck in doing transactional things. We're not, these days we don't go to the next cubicle if we're at work to talk to the other person. We would rather send a text or an email. There's that element of disconnect there. There's only one way, and you guys can take me up on that. Many successful people, and as Jan mentioned, many successful entrepreneurs, many wealthy people, they've experienced that fulfillment comes from one thing, and that is serving others. And as Jen mentioned, that you go out there, build the other people. You're not just going there to build a power team just to get. You're going to put yourself out there, be of service to others, and help them be the best expression of themselves. And that's what creates the joint partnerships and joint ventures. Very good. Excellent points. Thank you so much. And let's transition into Yes, go ahead, Bob.
I just wanted to make one more point on top of that, and some people have heard this one before. I think probably all three of us can recite this one by heart, and it's that line from Zig Ziglar saying that you can have everything that you want in life if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. And that's just something that I live by, and it drives me. And I just wanted to bring that up here because I think it's a very, very important point for us all to keep in mind.
Very appropriate, and absolutely, Bob. It's one of the key things that drives us. I know it drives your organization, the Newbie System, in serving and helping new entrepreneurs, which we will talk about later. Let's talk about the third and the final element, final fatal mistake that we do, and as new entrepreneurs, and that is the mindset and the planning. The mindset, the right mindset needed to be an entrepreneur, and what kind of planning goes into place. So let me ask you this, Bob. How important is planning the work and then working that plan? How important is that for a new entrepreneur?
Oh man, this one is monster. Between the planning and the mindset, this is, 80 to 90% of all businesses fail in the first couple of years. This is why, folks. This is why they're not. Many people are thinking still as an employee, not as an entrepreneur. That's a killer right there. You've got to be thinking in a whole different way, and if you don't have that now, go get it. Get that mindset. Learn it. Same with the planning. There's so many. If anybody out there that has started working on your business and tried to get it launched, you know this. There's so many details that have to be taken care of, from registering your business and your taxes and the bank accounts and sales plan and so many other things. If you don't have it tracked, if you're not planning on where you want to go, baby, you have killed yourself right then and there, even before you've gotten out of the gate. So it's absolutely critical.
Very good. Here at the a lot of my clients, one of the things that I talk to them about is think on paper, and I borrowed that from Brian Tracy, and he talks about that. So for so long I was relying on this. Now I like to think it's very sharp, but you know what? Putting everything in there, it just doesn't happen. So think on paper and put structures and plans in place on paper, because there's a higher probability of them coming true and them holding you accountable. So just on that note, let me go to Jen on this. Jen, what kind of mindset? It's a little twisted. What kind of mindset is required for a new entrepreneur to put in the effort and the structure around planning? So that they go into planning. What kind of mindset is needed?
There are so many, as Bob said, there are so many nuances, so many things that have to happen, that it's planning is paramount, and it's from the big rocks, putting in the big rocks, right? I love that. It's a Stephen Covey example. You put in the big rocks, you put in the little rocks, you put in the pebbles, you put in the sand, you put in the water, right? And you have to know that getting all of those pieces right and in the right order means that you can get everything done. You can't just run willy-nilly, You can't change the tire while you're still driving the car. You have to understand the steps of the business, right?
And we understand it the hard way sometimes.
Amen, brother.
Very good. And folks, here's the thing, that those who have made it, those entrepreneurs who've made it or who've crossed that new entrepreneur threshold and have had success in their business, even they have made the mistakes. So don't feel like you are alone in this venture. That's why we have organizations like the Newbie System to put you together with like-minded people and know that, these are the fatal mistakes. And guess what? We've been there. And so many times during this presentation, I'm being reminded of some of the things that I have done and some of the things that I still currently do that I want to alter so that my big business can thrive and help me fulfill on my ambitions and my dreams and my goals. And one of the things, especially when it comes to mindset and planning, I say this a lot of times, consistency. Consistency around planning and consistently nourishing the mind and reading on other businessmen or business autobiographies, a business book, leadership books. It allows you to instill that mindset slowly, but it's a consistent effort that's going to make a difference. Mindset and planning is not necessarily a one-off thing. I do it once a month kind of thing. No, it's something very strategic and something that happens consistently. And one of the things I say, when you're doing great things consistently, you can have a one-off day. It doesn't make a huge difference. But if you're consistently in inaction or procrastinating, then doing the work, just a great thing, one-off day, one day, is not going to make a huge difference. Bob, let me take your perspective on consistency. How important is consistency in building a mindset and putting plans in place for our ventures?
Okay, well, I've already talked about the need for planning, the need, and you were really good talking about getting it all written down. That is just critical. One of the things, though, that another part of the mindset that this too is a killer, and for some people who are just getting into it, you may not recognize it, and that is the disease. Yes, the disease of perfectionism. So many people are afraid of making mistakes, and they don't launch because they're polishing, they're making it better, they're adding new features, they just keep changing, and they never get launched. Folks, perfectionism is death.
The man has spoken.
Get yourself out there. Get yourself started. Okay? It's the right format is ready, fire, aim. Okay? Get yourself out there. Get going. That's the biggest thing that I can say about your mindset. Nike nailed it. Just do it.
Just do it. That's right. Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Well, those are the 3 fatal mistakes that we wanted to bring. And again, in our experience of dealing with new entrepreneurs as they come into the newbie organization, even some of my clients who've transitioned into being an entrepreneur, these are the 3 fatal mistakes that they will. I hope you guys have made notes on this and taken a record of this and know what you need to do in order to put these things in place. And let me wrap them up. One of the first elements that we talked about is the inaction in our business, the procrastination. And when we're in the midst of that, we're suffocating not only our own expression but our business, and it doesn't help us fulfill on our dreams and our goals. Now, how do we tackle that? And there were some great suggestions that were put in place here. One of the things that we want to do that is we want to put accountabilities in place, accountability partners or accountability and schedules in place to hold us accountable to our dreams and our goals. And that's one of the key things that I'd like to add in there. Number 2, we talked about going alone. Although it may seem like you're on a venture, you're on a horse, and you're on a mission, but eventually, you cannot be everything inside of your business. My mentor taught me this quite early, is that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. You want to be responsible, and we work here with our clients as well. We ensure that our clients they know themselves, who they are as a matter of their strengths, who they are as a matter of their passions. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you bring your game to the world? Yes, we have many of our businesses, and there's an expression inside of it, but many of us find it hard to sometimes just fire. Is because we don't know what tools we are strong in. What are our assets that we can bring to the table and fire with those assets? We sometimes take a small gun and fire instead of forgetting about this big, huge bazooka that we might have. So learning to get to know your strengths, and then once you know what your areas of weaknesses are, then you can solicit the help of others and create joint ventures, create partnerships, and move forward. And of course, the last element we talked about was the mindset and the planning. How important that element is to put this whole thing in place. Many of us don't go into businesses with the right mindset. We think it's going to be a breeze. We think we just have to we have a freedom lifestyle. We can work whenever we want and all that stuff. And that is true. Ultimately, you can work whenever you want. But a life of an entrepreneur at the beginning, it's a rough ride. It's not like a smooth sailing Cadillac. It's like it's a bumpy ride. It reminds me of the shuttle that I took from the airport. But nevertheless, putting the mindset and the planning in place is just such a key ingredient. And think on paper. Create all plans in paper. Put your strengths, put your assets all on paper. And once you have that in place, then you can go out and create strategic partnerships and create the plan in place that can help you bring your business to life. And I hope you guys have all gotten value from this. It's been my pleasure to bring these wonderful people to the table who I constantly am learning from. And you know what, Bob, I want to pass it to you. Why don't you talk to us about? I know you have a special offer for the people who went through our Murphy Law application in action that we showed them at the beginning, and for their patience of sticking around. We'll talk to them, a special gift for them at the end. But talk to us about the newbie system and newbie organization. Where did it come from? Where is it going? And how can people take advantage of the newbie system?
Okay, absolutely, Raz. I'd be delighted to do this. And let's just start. I just want to talk to you about Newbie for a second. Newbie, as you've probably, I hope anyway, have seen in this presentation so far tonight, the three of us are passionate about helping other people. And Newbie was really born from that particular passion. Newbie is a company. Newbie is an acronym. Each of the letters means something, and it stands for New Entrepreneur Wealth Building Institute. Pretty highfalutin, right? But what it's all about and is we are passionate about helping people and helping new entrepreneurs achieve the success that they're going after. So success defined as they define it. And we do that through tools, through training, through experts, and all sorts of different ways. So we've got a really full toolkit to help people in whatever way they need to do that. And that's what Newbie is all about. The one tool that I wanted to talk about tonight is something that we call our Quick Start program. Mm-hmm. And that really has come from talking to a whole lot of people about what they need. And now, one of the things, again, that I know about all three of us here is that over the last few years, all three of us have invested tens of thousands of dollars in our own personal education because that's what we need to get ahead. Whether we're talking coaches, training, mentors, all sorts of books and CDs and material, we've done a lot of it. And what a lot of people are telling us is we need that education. We want to get not only just education, but from the top and the best. So what we've done in the Quick Start program is we have assembled a team of amazing experts to generate the material for us. Now maybe Jan can show the list of the modules that we've got. And okay, again, sorry folks, this is just Murphy is still rippling here, but so I'm not quite sure what everybody's seeing. But these are the modules that are in the course, and each one of these modules is being taught by a top expert. Okay, and I'm using the quotes around top expert because okay, what is a top expert? An expert in our definition is somebody who has earned tens of millions of dollars by helping their clients earn hundreds of millions of dollars. So these aren't people who are just like good book-learned people. These are people from the trenches who have not only been in the trenches, they've excelled in the trenches, and they're now here to help you do the same. Those are the top experts. So, people said, fantastic, like that, like it a lot. They're looking for help not only now but down the road. So we, even though we've got, tens of thousands of dollars of expert input into the course, we've made it available now for your lifetime. So you sign up, it's available, it's always there. So we've compounded that. So we're now talking conservatively $100,000 of value from this particular course. And this is the cool thing about the lifetime access. things change, right? New
Mm-hmm.
techniques, new technologies, all sorts of new stuff comes out. The course is designed that the new material keeps getting added. And as these experts and others come up with new material, we're adding that as well. And as a lifetime expert, you keep getting more and more value.
Mm-hmm.
So they, and now that we've added that piece, people are saying, well, but I also need help, like on a weekly basis and on a monthly basis. I've got questions that I need answered. So we've created a Facebook group. We've created opportunities to speak on a weekly and on a monthly basis with the experts and get them to handle your specific questions. So the values we're talking about in this particular course, they're well into the six-figure range now. And so we sat down with our experts and our panel of experts, our mastermind, and said, what should we be charging for this? And the answer came back that we should be looking at a price of about $200 a month. Or if we wanted to create something that there's a lot of people who like to pay one time only. So what we came up with was, we can say that at a very minimal, people will be in for 2 years. So we're probably looking at a one-time payment of $2,400. So that's what our course is. If you go to our website, you'll see that the values, it's $200 a month, or it's a single payment of $2,400. And given that over the lifetime you're having six-figure benefits from this course, the value is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars range. That's a pretty darn good price. But here's the special. Okay, Raza talked about it a little earlier, and I'm just going to give it to you here now. We are really getting started with this program now, and I'm really wanting to work with you. We all want to work with you. We want to make you a success, and we want to be successful right out of the gate. We want us all running at full speed to our success. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, this is kind of nuts, but all right. I think you've already got the idea. I am kind of nuts, so this is working well. So tonight, if you're willing to get started tonight and come along with us, instead of the $200 a month, instead of the $2,400 tonight, I'm going to offer this whole thing to you for a one-time payment, $147. Okay.
Bob, let me interject in here, Bob. Let me get this right. You're saying that the course was developed in and there are key areas of business that we want to be mindful of, and the course was developed by subject matter experts in the area. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We've got top marketing people, top sales people, top social media experts. We brought in the blue chippers for this one.
Wow, and all these people who are currently specialists in their field, they're helping other organizations make millions of dollars and help them expand on their marketing and all of the other areas. You're actually bringing them inside of this course that's going to be accessible through Newbie System. Is that correct?
You have it, my friend. That's exactly it. There's a whole bunch of things that new entrepreneurs need to know. This course has them all.
And it doesn't matter what area, what business I'm in, these key areas are important to my business.
Absolutely. Everybody needs to have the right mindset. Everybody needs to know how to use social media and all of the rest. So it doesn't matter what area your business is in, this course is definitely going to help you take off.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've gotten the depth of the course that's been put together here through Newbie System for new entrepreneurs. And as you've seen the passion inside of these wonderful people that we've worked with, that they've built their entire business around new entrepreneurs. Whether you are a real estate agent, whether you're in network marketing, whether you are launching an offline business or online business, the key strategies talked about within the Quick Start course are there. And it's not Bob talking about all of those strategies. It's not Jen. It's not myself. It's actual subject matter experts from out there who are traveling across the world, helping other organizations become better. They are here available for you. And what was the price again?
Okay, if you're going to do it tonight, the price, one time, $147. Take a look below the video. for the register now button. You got to press that while we're still going here, and that'll get you locked in at the 147 price. All 8 modules for the rest of your life.
Very good. That is so great. Bob, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Jan, your partner, for really making yourselves available. I know you guys have busy schedules. I know you guys have been working furiously with many new things in place, new softwares, new technologies, new processes, new coaches, new mentors, all of that stuff. And although we've been in the business sometimes longer than 2 years. It's continuously it's an evolving process. And let me get maybe last words from you for our new entrepreneurs, and then we'll close off the show. Jan, why don't you start? Any final words for our wonderful audience?
Well, first off, Raza, thank you so much for working with us tonight and being our moderator for this discussion. Thank you, Bob. I have one of the best business partners in the whole world, and I'm really excited to be able to share this opportunity with Bob and with the folks on the call. I guess overall, one of my gurus, and one of the gurus who is part of the Quick Start program, says that where does the air you breathe stop and the air I breathe start? And to me, it's that exchange of energy, and we're all in this together. That's what Newbie's about. That we're here to help you and each individual entrepreneur, and really just to remember that you're not in this alone. That you can work on your business, not in your business. It is your business, but you don't have to be the lone wolf in all of this. Got it.
No lone warriors over here. We've got a team of people, and it's really a collaborative age now, right, Jan? Where we're not solos as much as we like to think that way sometimes. We're not. Bob, what about you? Any final words for our wonderful audience here?
Well, absolutely. As you know, Raz, I'm typically not at a loss for words, but just to try to pick a few here. First off, Jan, right back at you. I am blessed to be surrounded by Jan and Raza and so many other really, really good people, and that makes life fantastic. That makes business fantastic. So find your team, folks. Make sure that you're in the right mind space, and hey, the sky is the limit. So that's really all I have to say. Thank you very much for coming tonight. And again, 147, because I'm crazy. Box is down below. Register now.
Very good. This crazy man also has a great wife as well. She's probably the supporting cast around him right now. Marg is absolutely great. She's a rock star, and she teaches me a lot. Of course, we all have our supporting cast around us, without whom we would not be able to function, and that goes to my wife as well, Taz. As we transition, as we took this step towards being an entrepreneur, she provides for me the anchor behind me, the backbone, of something that I fall back on, and us entrepreneurs, we need that in many different shapes and forms. So like Bob said and Jen said, the message is very strong. We're here to help, and we're here to leverage our experience, not just our experience, but the experience of all the people that are around us. We don't want to keep them to ourselves, and I always say this, that the people that you have around you is a reflection of who you are, not necessarily what you want, because we do not attract what we want, we attract who we are. And for Newbie System to have these wonderful multi-million-dollar speakers around and be able to build these relationships from these subject matter experts who are helping entrepreneurs across the world and helping organizations across the world thrive and be the best expression of themselves, we are bringing them in-house to you, to you. You're a home business entrepreneur, like I said. It doesn't matter what kind of entrepreneur you are. It is in your hands, and the price that this crazy man has absolutely put out there is $147, one-time payment, and you have access to it to lifetime. You have coaching access and all the wonderful things with it. And of course, he keeps pointing down, so keep looking down for the link, and get registered. And you get to work with some great people, great authors, great mentors that we have around us. We want to give access to you as well, to these people. Jan, Bob, thank you so much for being here. We're looking forward to not only the launch of this course, but really of what Newbie System is up to, and helping many new entrepreneurs transition into this wonderful world of business ventures and of entrepreneurism. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Reza. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.